You'll never guess what I found. A new book. It's called Boris and Baba, and it was written by Janet Berezowecki. And I'm pleased to be joined in the studio by none other than the author herself. Welcome to the Westman Studios, Janet. Pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
What did you think of our silly intro with Baba and Boris at the start? What I did for the audience, and they're not going to give me credit for it, was I didn't drop the book right away and reveal that horrible face.
That was very classy. I liked it.
You're too kind. I am excited to learn that we have a book that's not just a children's book. We've gone one step further. What we've done is we're going to introduce a book about Ukrainian childhood and a Ukrainian grandma with her grandson.
That's right.
And I read I didn't read it word for word, unfortunately, but I gave it a brief overview, and it seems like a very family-friendly, wholesome experience that grandkids all over, some of them don't have their grandmas anymore.
Sadly true.
I think this book is going to reach them in a very special way, and I'm so excited to tell everybody about it today. But I'm going to start with, why did you write this book?
Well, it's a memory from my childhood that I revisit an awful lot. I love my Baba. She was a great cook, and she would often come and stay with us. And one of the things, of course, that she did was she always cooked when she was here, and we got to help her out as her grandchildren, and we also got to eat the things that she cooked and that we helped her cook. And so it was a really big memory, and it didn't matter whether she visited us or we went to visit her, there was always food involved, and we had all different kinds of traditional Ukrainian food, and as I grew up, I continued that tradition in my family, and there's, you know, special foods that we always had at special celebrations, special times of the year. And so I just really wanted to put that memory to paper and be able to share that with other people that have those same kinds of memories, that wanted to share that with their children as well. So that was really my main motivator.
Well, that's a wonderful story, but there is a bit of a discrepancy in this book, and I think we should talk about it because it's real. I think spell check has failed you because you spelt pierogi wrong. What is up with that? There's a silly spelling of pierogi in here, and I demand answers.
Well, it is spelled pyrohy. Pyrohy.
See, there's a G missing there.
Well, yes, but that's a Canadian G. And the way I spelt pyrohy in my book is actually the way it is truly spelt in the Ukrainian language. My dad is a big proponent of spelling things the way they should be spelled. He's an English teacher, and he also is a Ukrainian and speaks Ukrainian. So I asked him for the correct spelling of pierogi, as we say in North America, and that's how it was. So I had to do that and put that in the book. So there's lots of different kinds of ways to spell pierogi, but we went with the traditional Ukrainian way because, of course, we're Ukrainian. So that's why it's spelled that way. So.
Well, I can't believe we've been spelling it wrong this entire time. It looks like instead of eating pierogies, I'm going to have to eat my words. But I'm glad that finally this controversy has been put to bed, and we don't have to talk about the proper way to spell pierogi.
Pierogi, yes.
Pierogi any longer. You've done a great service to the world today, Janet. I'm so glad we got to tell everybody about how we've been doing it so wrong for so long. Now, there is something even more important that we should be talking about, and that is, when is this book getting released, and maybe even where it might be getting released?
Well, this book is released as of now. It's available on Friesen Press. It is going to be available at my book launch on January 24th. It is, I have a book launch happening from 2 to 4 at the backyard on Aberdeen, and everyone's welcome to attend if they'd like to come by. I'll have some books there that people can buy. It will also be available on the website poweredbyplay.ca, and it's also available in digital format for the Kindle on Amazon.ca at the moment.
So we can get it electronically?
Yes.
We can get it in full color print?
Yes.
You'll have some copies
I will have lots of copies there. And you can also go on my website, poweredbyplay.ca, and you can order it for pickup through there, or you can get it delivered to you. It can be mailed out to whoever you'd like.
That's handy.
Yeah.
And that website, just for people trying to write it down, is poweredbyplay.ca. It even rhymes.
Yes.
Well, isn't that clever? You've thought of everything. What's it like to have a book launch for your first book, I'm assuming?
This is my first book, yes.
So you not only wrote a book, not only got it published, you got a book launch party.
Yes.
How does it feel to have a book launch party just around the corner? It must be either exciting or terrifying.
It's really exciting. It took me 13 months to get my book from my little scratch pad to actually in book format. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's been a long time dream of mine to be able to publish this book. So I'm really excited to be able to share it with people and just share that experience that I had with my Baba with everybody else. And I'm sure we'll be talking about everybody's experience with their grandparents at the book launch, because, you know, everybody loves their grandma.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, you know what I liked the most about having kids was reading to them.
Yes.
It's such a calming, I don't even know the right words. Like when you finish reading and your child is drifting off into sleep and you do a good night, you walk away with a feeling that nothing could be better than this.
That's right. Everything's right with the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for anybody that doesn't get to experience that.
It's a great way to make a connection with your child, and you know, if there's one thing that you can do with your child that will help them, you know, set their trajectory really high, is to read books.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what kind, just read, read, read.
And I used to let my boy, he would hold the books, and then he would get to flip the pages, and because he had to see the pictures, and I would have to lean over and read for him. But the togetherness time, that all adds up.
It sure does.
They might not, not remember the exact moment, but they remember the cumulative moments.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they remember that feeling of connectedness and togetherness and the sharing that you do when you read a book. So it's really important.
Especially doing it as a habit.
Yes,
so that
exactly.
It forms as a habit memory and not a one-off memory. Yeah,
exactly.
That is the key.
Yes.
Holy. Now, we should talk a little bit about Boris and Baba.
Yes, okay.
Tell me, what does Baba learn in this book?
Well, Baba learns a lot about Boris. Baba learns that Boris needs a little bit of help now and then. Baba learns that Boris also needs a little bit of hugs, a little bit of confidence building as they go through the process of making the pyrohy. And she shares her love with him, and you really see that sense of connectedness, and you really see that love. That there's a page in there where you can just see that they're looking at each other in their eyes, and you can just sense that, you know, that real deep feeling of love between the two of them, and that's my favorite page in the book.
I'm so glad I asked you what Baba learned first, because we got to get that. Was a beautiful way of illustrating how kids can teach us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, and kids help us learn about things that we didn't even know about ourselves just from the interactions. But now I'll switch up the question.
Okay.
What does Boris learn in this book?
Well, Boris learns that he has lots of skills. Even though he's unsure of himself at one point in the book, he does have the skills that he needs to be able to make the pyrohy and do the things that Baba shows him. He also knows his limits, so he knows that he can't be at the stove when they're boiling, for example.
Safety.
Yes, he also knows that he can independently do a lot of things, like set the table at the end. And he also shows how proud he is. Also, when his mama and papa come home at the end of the work day, and he's so proud to show off what he's made for supper. And that's a really big moment.
And what a great message to share.
Yes.
Yeah, if you miss out on the activities, you miss out on those feelings of accomplishment that go with them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's such a great message.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am turning into a fan of your book. I mean, I was a fan of your book, but now that I'm getting into the underlying stories, I'm starting to like it more and more. We should talk about these wonderful pictures. I mean, we showed everybody the title cover illustration. I'd like you to tell us how the illustrations came about.
Well, I started to work with Friesen Press on just the basic story part of the book, and once I had that part finished, then we started talking about the illustrations, and I started looking at different kinds of illustrations that I thought really matched my book, and illustrators who sort of had the same kind of feel in their illustrations that I wanted, and so I really was intrigued by one of the illustrators that I had kind of looked at and checked out her work, and so we began to work together, and it worked out really well. She managed to capture the kind of feelings that I wanted to incorporate in the illustrations, because I can't draw. I can draw a stick person, and that's about it. I'm not an artist, and she really does a good job. So we worked really well together, going back and forth and making a few changes and adding things and taking things away, and I think they turned out really well.
Nice. Well, I think we have one more topic to discuss.
All right.
And that is going to be your experience overall. For anybody out there who is a budding author, maybe a recommendation, maybe a warning, maybe some advice. I'm not sure where you want to go with this, but for anyone else thinking of maybe writing a children's book, what would you say to them?
Oh, if it's a dream, go ahead and do it. It was my dream to be able to write a children's book, and Friesen Press really made it easy. They provided me with a lot of supports, a lot of help along the way. It definitely was a big process. There was some frustration along the way. There were choices that I had to make. It's not a simple process, so you have to be, ready to step in and work through it, but it's really rewarding at the end to be able to look at the whole process and think about all the things that you learned, and but it was a good process. So if if that's something that you want to do, I'd say go ahead and do it, because I feel really good about it. I'm really proud of the work that I did, and I'm really proud to have the book at the very end of it. I'm proud of the product, and I'm glad that I didn't shy away from it. I'm glad that I didn't let frustration stop me. So I think that if you want to do it, go right ahead and do it, and you'll be as successful. If I can do it, other people can do it too. So yeah, take charge of your dreams.
Such a great story.
Thanks.
I think we're going to end our chat on that note. That was that was too good. Well, I want to thank you for coming down to Westman Studio and telling us all about Boris and Baba. But there is one last question before I go.
Okay.
When does Boris and Baba 2 come out?
Oh, that's a really good question. I have no exact date yet, but I know that I am already thinking about Boris and Baba and the next steps that they're going to take, but I have no date yet. So I'll keep you posted, though.
Nice. Well, thank you very much. Thank you again for coming down, and I can't wait to hear all about Boris and Baba on their next adventures.
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful.
Thank you. Wow, Boris and Baba. Now, this isn't just a kid's book, it's also an instruction manual. If you're having trouble making pierogies, all the secret tips and tricks in here that most people don't even know about, what I can promise you is if your pierogies aren't sticking well, this is the book for you. The answers are all in here. Get it. See you at the book launch, Backyard on Aberdeen, coming up January 24th, right here in Brandon. And with that, take care.